After polishing out this car, there are a few deep scratches that we could not get out with just a polisher. So what we're going to use is our 4-inch drill backing plate and our buffing pads. So take your drill, cordless drill, and you put our backing plate straight in, and you put it in just like a drill bit or anything else, okay? And crank it down real well. Now, what I've got here is a little baby buffer. This is a rotary buffer, only miniature. It's great for knocking out scratches like this one, which are pretty serious. Now, I'm going to use our orange foam buffing pad. I'm going to go ahead and put it right onto the drill. The backing plate fits it perfectly, exactly. It's impossible to be off. If it's off, it's way obvious. So there's a little ring. You cannot mess it up. It goes directly inside of there and you are 100% inserted. Okay, so I'll give it a quick spin just to make sure it's totally balanced, and it is. So now I'm going to go ahead and get some of our paint correcting polish. And I'm going to apply just a little bit to the pad. As always, when I use the foam pads, a little prime of the detail spray. And now, I'm going to go across this scratch. I'm going to rub in the polish a little bit so that I don't sling it. Now, using the drill with this little tiny foam pad on your finish, this acts like a buffer. This does create heat. If you're on an edge and it could actually burn the paint, be careful. Avoid it if you can, but if you've got a scratch, a nice big scratch in the middle of the pen like this, those are the easy ones. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to have my hand on the head of the drill like this, okay? And I want to make sure and control this from going like this. I don't want to see the drill do this at all. I want to control it completely. Remember, this is going to spin, and there's also an exhaust on a lot of drills. If your hand is covering the exhaust, you'll get a water blister. I've done it way too many times. Avoid that, it's a bummer. So here we go. Now, here's a great tip. When I'm polishing with a little pad on the drill, it is going to create heat. I want to make sure I constantly check two things. One, the temperature of the panel. Am I heating it up? Can I burn the finish? Right now, it's not too bad. The pad, am I too hot on the pad? I don't want to have a super hot panel or a hot pad. If I feel like I'm heating up, it's getting worse, then I want to take a little time, take a little detail spray, cool the pad down. You can also cool the panel down with a hit of detail spray. I'm also going to reactivate the existing polish in the pad by using a little detail spray. Watch this. There's plenty of polish still in that pad, but it looked like it was almost gone. It was almost dry. Well, remember, solids and liquids are a part of every polish, and the liquids dry faster than the solids. By spraying a little bit of detail spray in there, I'll get those solids to reactivate, and I'm back in business. Okay, this is a seriously deep scratch right now, no question about it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is try some sandpaper. Sandpaper on the Bentley? Yes. And let me show you what I'm going to use. This is a piece of 2000 grit sandpaper. It seriously feels like a piece of copy paper, printer paper. It's very, very fine. And how I'd use it to get a scratch like this out, I take our detail spray, okay, spray it down, get it very wet, spray the panel down, get it very wet. Now, This is something that you do when you've lost all hope. You know you're gonna paint the panel anyway, screw it. You gotta get this scratch out, but when it's down to the primer and you just wanna make it way less visible, then and only then do you take out a piece of sandpaper and sand it out. So I'm gonna take this small piece of sandpaper, I'm gonna go over this scratch very, very, very gently and just try to massage the depth of that scratch out. I'm going to go along the scratch, and let's see. It's a good sign. I've lost it. I can't even see it anymore. Perfect. Now, you want to see what it looks like once I've sanded the car? You may freak out, but don't, because watch this. Awesome. We have sanded out the deepest parts of this scratch, and I left this entire segment in front of the scratch still there, okay? So we'll be able to see the majority of the scratch being removed and the rest of the scratch still there, so you can see before and after. Now, once you've gone ahead and sanded it, as I have there, it looks hazy. If this was your car, would you be freaking out right now? Well, don't worry about it. It's not my car. It's not worried at all. I'm totally relaxed. Now, I know we can fix it. The orange foam pad with our paint correcting polish, I know that I can go after this now. Okay, I've already got some on the pad. It's still a little bit damp from before. I'm gonna go ahead and go over just a little bit. Cool. The polish is drying on my pad a little bit, so instead of adding more polish, a little hit of detail spray, and watch this. Boom, plenty of polish still in the pad. Looking good. I'm pumped. So, I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is I've gotten the scratch almost completely invisible. The bad news is now I have little buffer swirls. As if you just went to a body shop and had this whole car painted and buffed with a rotary buffer. Those are the swirl marks that this little guy will leave behind. So once I'm done with this, I'm going to come back over it with the Cyclo, and we're going to knock all of these little swirl marks down, which is real easy. I'm going to use the Cyclo polisher, and I'm going to use the white microfiber polishing pads. White pad number 1, white pad number 2, and then I'm going to go ahead and apply some paint finishing polish. Circles this time. And I'm going to rub it in a little bit first. And then switch it on. And then, as always, I always like to finish with the white foam pads. I can actually still feel that I have polish left in that pad. So instead of adding more and overloading my pads, filling them up so that they're no longer effective, I'm just gonna use a little detail spray. Boom, boom. That's all I need. Oh yeah, plenty of polish. And now for the results. All right. That worked rather well. So now any other scratches I have on the rest of the car that are that deep, that severe, I'm gonna need to do them. So I'll go around and address each scratch individually and then come back over, polish them out. But that just looks absolutely fantastic. Take a close-up look now of this.